What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
Oh, sorry, guys. My fault. I didn't see you guys there. I was just too busy enjoying the most blissful and perfect bye week for our Philadelphia Eagles as I'm recording this here on Monday night after Monday Night Football. What a blissful bye week. It was so relaxing, so enjoyable, and we're going to get into all of it right here on Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's going to be a ton of fun. Welcome to the studio, everybody. Welcome in. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 791 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's your boy KB coming at you solo dolo to get your week started off on the right foot, on the left foot, and moving in motion on the road to victory as the Eagles went through their bye week. Howie Roseman woke us up on Monday morning. I'm glad I waited to record so I don't have to wait until Wednesday to talk about this. And we've got ourselves another shiny new toy on this defense that Vic Fangio is all too familiar with. We're going to talk about the Jaelan Phillips trade. We will also talk about the most perfect bye week in Eagles history? Question mark? People are saying. We'll go around the NFL. We'll talk about the Philadelphia Union advancing to the Eastern Conference Semifinal with a nice 3-0 shellacking of the Chicago Fire out in Chi-Town. We'll talk some Sixers basketball as they are hooping and cruising right now, sitting at 5-1 on the season. And then we'll talk a little Flyers as well. Unfortunate loss for them on Sunday, but you can't win them all, and they have an opportunity to bounce back on the road and notch some wins there on the road schedule upcoming. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on every social platform. Be sure to follow us. That way you keep up to date with everything that's going on around this show, around the company, and so much more. You can follow me at KBIZZLE11 on Instagram, KBIZZL311 on Twitter. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. Goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow, helps us reach new milestones, and allows me to get one step closer and all of our creators one step closer to making this our full-time gigs. So keep subscribing on Apple and Spotify, and subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It is all on our YouTube channel. We're at 1,116 subscribers, which means we're 84 away from our next 100 subscriber milestone. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And this show, guys, is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. And guess what, guys? Before we know it, it's going to be here. We're a few days away. The Garden State Comic Fest is coming to the all-new Vineland Convention Center on Saturday, November 15th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday, November 16th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Meet Melissa Joan Hart, yes, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, plus fan-favorite stars like Dan Parent, the legendary Archie's comic artist and writer, Kevin Clash, the voice of Elmo, Splinter, and Baby Sinclair, and Keith Williams, the iconic comic book inker from Marvel and more. comics, cosplay, collectibles, and over 6,000 fans. For all the details, visit gscfvineland.com. Again, the Garden State Comic Fest is coming to the all-new Vineland Convention Center Saturday, November 15th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday, November 16th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. For all the details, visit gscfvineland.com. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
Hello, I'm Mayor Anthony Fanucci. Vineland, New Jersey offers both a great business location and an outstanding quality of life. But don't just take my word for it, the experts agree. We're proud to be recognized as a premier food processing and logistics hub, one of New Jersey's most affordable and desirable cities, and one of the best places to retire in the country. Visit vinelandcity.org and see how our resources can work for you. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Ladies and gentlemen, how we living? It is a beautiful, beautiful start to the week, simply because the Philadelphia Eagles had a bye week, no loss, put in the loss column, and we got to sit back and watch the NFL unfold right before our very eyes. And everything that could have gone right for our defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. And if you hear it in my nose and in my voice, I apologize. Celebrated my birthday on Wednesday. I appreciate all the love, like I mentioned on the last episode. But I've been in a battle with my allergies since Friday morning, and it has been brutal, so I apologize if I sound a little nasally. I feel like I'm on the tail end of things, and I'm battling through for the people, but I apologize in advance if I sound a little nasally. But we got to sit back and watch the NFL unfold, and everything went perfect for our defending champions, Super Bowl defending champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. Not only did the New York Giants lose in embarrassing fashion, not only did the Green Bay Packers lose to the Carolina Panthers, not only did the Detroit Lions find a way to just absolutely crumble to the Minnesota Vikings, not only did the Seattle Seahawks just absolutely bully the Washington Commanders, and prayers up, thoughts, positive vibes to Jaden Daniels. That injury was horrific. Never want to see any player get injured, and never want to see any player get injured in that manner. I'm still speechless when I talk about it, 'cause seeing it, we reacted to it in real time when we were recording OTB, and it is gnarly. Best wishes to Jaden Daniels in his recovery. Hopefully everything's going to turn out okay for him. But the Commanders end up losing to Seattle in prime time. And then Monday Night Football rolls around, ladies and gents. Monday Night Football rolls around. And the Dallas Cowboys lose for the world to see in Jerry World to the Arizona Cardinals. Things you just love to see. I tell you what, man. Things you just love to see. It's just every domino possible getting pushed down and going right for our Philadelphia Eagles. What a bye week it was. And not only was it just from a wins and losses standpoint of NFC opponents that it was a beautiful bye week. It was a beautiful bye week because on Monday morning at 7 a.m., Philadelphia Eagles fans everywhere, we woke up to notifications on our phone from Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, and every NFL reporter known to man that the Philadelphia Eagles were sending a third-round pick to the Miami Dolphins for one Jaelan Phillips. My, oh my, does Howie Roseman do it again. Here's the thing with Jaelan Phillips, okay? And, you know, any other year where the Eagles are not sitting here as defending Super Bowl champions, aiming to go back-to-back in an NFC that just feels so wide open, you kind of scratch your head at what you gave up to get Jaelan Phillips. He's on an expiring contract, hasn't really been able to stay healthy the past 2 seasons with pretty, big-time injuries, an Achilles and an ACL injury. But when you're going all in and you have a guy who was probably one of the few defensive players who actually got along with and respected and played well under Vic Fangio when he was the defensive coordinator of the Miami Dolphins for 1 season, you go and make that move. When the Miami Dolphins are paying a majority of the salary for Jaelan Phillips to just get a better draft pick in return, you go and make that move. When you're Howie Roseman and you still have a loot crate full of draft picks for the 2026 NFL draft, and the draft pick in the 3rd round you're giving up is your own pick rather than the 3rd round pick that you're getting from the New York Jets from the Hassan Reddick trade, you go and make that move. Jaelan Phillips is 26 years old, an expiring contract, who does come into the compensatory pick formula for the Philadelphia Eagles, mind you. And the Eagles are going to get 3 more compensatory picks, one of them more than likely being a 3rd-round pick for Milton Williams. So you're going to get that pick back. And all of these picks that Howie Roseman has traded away, the Eagles are more than likely going to recoup them via the comp picks they will get from Milton Williams, Josh Sweat, Mekhi Becton. They've really given up nothing in a majority of these trades, whether it be Michael Carter II, Jair Alexander, who we haven't even gotten a chance to talk about, but I think that's much more minimal than the Jaelan Phillips deal here. Jaelan Phillips, and then earlier this year, Tank Bigsby. The Eagles really have not given up much of anything that is going to affect them long term. They're still going to have, I believe, 6 to 8 draft picks, something like that. I think it's 8, not including the comp picks that are coming to them. This is a brilliant move by Howie Roseman. And I got to say, no free ads, but I'm having a Baja blast. This is a move that shores up that defensive line, that when Nolan Smith comes back, you can ease him in a little bit more. You don't have to, full send him back in off an injury. You have Jalen Hunt in the mix, and I think it helps him become a better player because he's not going to be exposed as much in year 2, even though he has been getting, he's been getting his as of late. I think this makes Jalen Carter better. I think this will make Brandon Graham a lot more unique coming out of the bye when he returns to the field, coming out of retirement. I think this makes Josh Uche a lot more unique of a player. And I'm just excited for what Vic is going to do with a player that he's familiar with, who had the best year of his career before he got injured under Vic Fangio. If Vic trusts a defensive player, I'm going to trust Vic Fangio about it. This Vic Fangio is here for the long haul. If you don't think Vic Fangio is signing off on some of these defensive moves that Howie Roseman goes and makes, you don't think they're having collaborative meetings together when Howie Roseman is like, hey, I think we should go acquire this player. Let me go see what Vic thinks. That's exactly what happens. It's a team effort. That's how you win Super Bowls. I like this move a lot. I think it's a B-plus move. You know, obviously an A-plus move would have been Myles Garrett, which everyone knows was not happening. Max Crosby, something of that nature was not happening. But Jaelan Phillips, who I've talked about off-pod with a lot of people, I said he was probably my first choice, although I do love Bradley Chubb too. Bradley Chubb a little bit older, but I was more in on Bradley Chubb for his social media handle being @astronaut. But I love this move for Jaelan Phillips. I think he's going to fit in perfectly for this team. He gets, this full week now to really like get his feet under him, get his wings under him, and gets an extra day too because the Eagles play on Monday Night Football to just prepare and get ready for the Packers. And I mean, what a perfect time to go and get a player than right now going into a full week's worth of practice. And the Eagles coming off of their bye, and obviously you weren't going to make a trade during the bye like that when players are still playing for their teams and such. But I like how he got this deal done the day before the deadline. That way, if anything else kind of shows its face and is able to, kind of pave itself out, you can still go and make additional moves. This does not prevent the Eagles from making another trade, in my opinion. But I like that he got this done now. It kind of sets the market for that tier of edge rusher, that tier of outside linebacker, however you want to classify Jaelan Phillips. But I like this move a lot. Jaelan Phillips is an underdog story. He medically retired from football when he was in college, then grinded his way back and made his way back into the game, gets drafted in the first round, and has become a very productive player when healthy. And I think if he stays healthy, which, I think he's going to have a lot more limited play time, not because of his playability, but he's going to be in a rotation. He's not going to be the focal point. He's not going to be relied upon like he was in Miami. So I think this is a beneficial move for him for, a contract year. And if the Eagles like him, they can re-sign him. And if they don't, they'll get a comp pick for him. Either way, like a win-win situation. This is a very awesome trade. And cheers to Howie Roseman for getting it done. And guess what? Even in a bye week, we get to celebrate a Victory Monday with our friends at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com, use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Delaware, Pittsburgh, and Maryland areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores, grocery stores, convenience stores in those markets. Again, that's kenwoodbeer.com. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please drink and celebrate responsibly. Howie Roseman gets it done once again, and I just feel good about this trade. I think Jaelan Phillips is gonna fit in very well with this team. You look at his stats of what he's been able to do this year in a very diminished Miami Dolphins season and roster and just vibes, quite frankly. And Jaelan Phillips played on Thursday too, because that's when the Dolphins last played. This season, he's not lighting the world on fire. He's got 3 sacks, though, 15 solo tackles in 9 games. The Eagles as a team this year have 16 sacks as a team, and you're adding a guy who has 3 on his own. He's got almost 25% of your team's production taking down the quarterback. I think that's a great move if you're Howie Roseman. I think if you're Vic Fangio and Nick Sirianni, you love this move. And now you get another edge rusher to come in. Brandon Graham will be back to go and chase after Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers on Monday Night Football. It's going to be nice. It's going to be nice. Another brilliant trade for Howie Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles. I like it. It's a B-plus trade for me. I think it upgrades this team. It gives them a little boost, gives them a shot in the arm, and gets you ready for a big-time matchup in the NFC for Monday Night Football. But let's go around the NFL and look at the most perfect bye week the Eagles could have had. Obviously, Jaelan Phillips, Jair Alexander, Michael Carter II coming into town via trade. We look around the NFL, Thursday Night Football, like I mentioned, Jaelan Phillips' last game in a Dolphins uniform. The Ravens win 28-6 on Thursday. The 49ers down the Giants 34-24. The Chargers zap the Titans 27-20. The Vikings make their way past the Lions 27-24 in Detroit, no less. The Patriots survived the Falcons 24-23. Parker Romo missed an extra point that would have tied that ball game up. The Steelers, the Pittsburgh Steelers, here we go, Steelers, here we go. They stunned Danny Dimes and the Indianapolis Colts 27-20. The Broncos survived the Texans 18-15 down in Houston. The Bears win game of the year so far, 47-42 over the Cincinnati Bengals. The Panthers outlast the Packers 16-13. The Rams, absolutely laugher of a game, 34-10 win over the Saints. The Jaguars, Duval, they survive in overtime, 30-29 over the Raiders. The Bills, Josh Allen and the Bills take down the Chiefs 28-21. Let's see you do it in the postseason now, pals. Regular season is one thing, postseason is another. And like I mentioned, the Seahawks take down the Commanders 38-14. Big ups to Jaden Daniels. Speedy recovery, my man. And the Cardinals stun the Cowboys in Jerry World 27-17. And that is your NFL Week 9. Brought to you by our friends at Paramount Plus. Guys, there's no better way to watch the NFL than with our friends at Paramount Plus. Stream your local game each and every week on Paramount Plus. It's the best way to take in all the NFL action. And if you're a student, use our link in the description to sign up for Paramount Plus and you get 50% off, 50% off any Paramount Plus plan when you use our link in the description to sign up. So if you're a student, sign up for Paramount Plus today and get 50% off any Paramount Plus plan, and don't miss a single second of the NFL action this season with our friends at Paramount Plus. Again, use that link in the description. Sign up for Paramount Plus. If you're a student, you'll get 50% off any Paramount Plus plan when you sign up for Paramount Plus. Don't miss the NFL all season long. Streaming on Paramount Plus. Perfect bye week. Just a perfect bye week. A lovely, lovely, lovely time. And the Eagles benefit from it. They get some reinforcements via trade. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful time. And I just feel good about where the Eagles are sitting now. And you know, when you look at how everything transpired this weekend and into Monday Night Football, it's just a perfect storm going into that Packers game, and I feel great. I feel great about where the Eagles are right now, and that's the thing. Like, you know, there's no real dominant teams in the NFC outside of the Eagles and the Rams. I think the Packers are still a little, you know, not for real. You know, the Rams seem the most legit number 2 to the Eagles. And I say number 2 because the Eagles beat them head-to-head, and I still think the Eagles are the more complete team across the board. And, you know, you look at the rest of the NFC, the Cowboys are a joke. The Commanders, their season is in shambles now. The Giants are a joke. The Packers are iffy. The Lions, are they really that good? Who knows? The Bears are a little frisky. I'll give the Bears that. The Vikings are still alive, but Eagles beat them head-to-head. Is J.J. McCarthy really a guy? Who knows? The Buccaneers, they don't have Mike Evans. They're wildly injured across the board. We'll see. And, they play in a weak division, but the Panthers are right there at 5-4. They're right behind them. The Falcons, I don't think are legit at all. The Saints stink. The Seahawks are pretty legit. I will give the Seahawks a lot of credit. They seem very, very legit. And they are one of those teams I feel like not very similar to the Eagles, where not a lot of people are talking about how complete of a team the Seahawks are. They look really, really good. Their 2 losses this year. Let me see. What were their losses this year? They lost to They lost to the 49ers opening weekend, 17-13 in a very winnable game. And they lost to the Bucs, 38-35. I still think the Seahawks are legit. I think the Rams are pretty legit. The 49ers, I don't trust them at all. Mac Jones, I think he's just having a Linsanity run. But the 49ers are also not playing anybody of merit, really. The Cardinals, they're the Cardinals. But you look at the 49ers, who have they played? They beat the Seahawks week 1. Take that for what it is. They beat the Saints. They beat the Cardinals by 1. They lost to the Jaguars. They beat the Rams by 3 in overtime. That was a huge one for the Eagles' purposes. They lost to the Bucs. That was brutal. They beat the Falcons. They lost to the Texans. And then they beat the Giants. They have the Rams again at home. Then they go to Arizona, home to the Panthers, at the Browns, home to the Titans, at the Colts, home to the Bears, home to the Seahawks. That final 3-game stretch for them, Colts, Bears, Seahawks, is pretty brutal. But they're not really playing anybody, so I can't grade them properly. They're also ravaged by injury. But I think the 3 best teams in the NFC right now are Eagles, Seahawks, Rams. In that order. Eagles, Seahawks, Rams. Followed by the Bucs. Followed by... And this is just the NFC for any AFC fans listening. After the Bucs, it's probably... pick your poison, Packers, Lions. Put them wherever you want. And then the Bears. The NFC, man. The NFC is wide open. And then you look at the AFC. Patriots are 7-2. Playing a bunch of nobodies, really. The Bills are 6-2. It's a 2-team race in the division. Steelers are 5-3. The Ravens are still alive at 3-5. Colts are 7-2. Jags are 5-3. Broncos are 7-2. Chargers are 6-3. Chiefs are 5-4. It's a wide open league this year in the NFL. Let me tell you. Wide open league in the NFL. Which makes things exciting. Eagles will be back off a bye. Fresh legs, freshly rested. And I'm pumped about where things sit right now and how things look going into Week 10 and what they're going to be able to do against the Packers. Reinforcements. Who knows if Howie Roseman's done making deals? Remains to be seen. But we move right along. And we move to the hardwood. But before we do, I want to talk to you guys about our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. Guys, there's no better way to stand out in the crowd, whether you're going down to Xfinity Mobile Arena, whether you're going to Lincoln Financial Field, hanging out at the bar with your homies, going to the Sub to watch the Union, or you want to get a little jump start on spring training and the Fightin' Phils and the All-Star Game season of 2026, with PHI Apparel Company, because with their unique designs for all, there's no doubt in our minds you will stand out in the crowd. Use our link in the description, shop with PHI Apparel Company, and when you go to checkout, use code UNDERGROUND to get 10% off your next order from our friends at PHI Apparel Company. Again, that's phiapparel.co, linked in the description. And when you go to checkout, use code UNDERGROUND for 10% off your next merch order and stand out in the crowd with the official merch partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Let's move to the Sixers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Sixers. Let's go. The 76ers are 5-1. Unfortunately, lose that NBA Cup game on Friday night. And I apologize for our episode with Aaron Grugan, which please go listen to that. Some really good stuff in that. Sit down with Aaron this week, who will be making weekly appearances on the show throughout the season. They unfortunately lose, and I apologize for that episode going up late. The great allergy war of 2025 commenced. And then we had a power outage the day before, which set us back because Aaron and I both were dealing with power issues and internet issues. We were going to record on Thursday. And then I had sustained more internet issues, and my upload speed here at the studio was just absolutely dog water. And that was that. So it was a late upload. So go run that up. Go listen to it. It's a great, great sit down with Erin. She's the fucking best. But the Sixers are 5-1. They are in first place in the Eastern Conference, tied with the Bulls, who are 5-1 as well. 3-0 on the road, the Sixers are. 2-1 at home. The one loss, the NBA Cup game to the Celtics, which was brutal. They battled, and just didn't have enough to finish it out. But a good bounce back on Sunday in Brooklyn, 129-105 victory over the Nets. Kelly Oubre Jr. in the first quarter was on sicko mode, 22 points. Unbelievable performance. Finishes with 29. VJ Edgecombe, 16 points. Tyrese Maxey, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists in 39 minutes. Quentin Grimes, 22 points, 13 assists, a career high, and 6 rebounds in 32 minutes. Trenton Watford, in his return to Brooklyn, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists in 25 minutes. He was sensational in that game. And I mean, it was such a domination of a game that Kyle Lowry made a season debut. Kyle Lowry made a season debut in this game. And it's one of those things that this team, it was a scheduled win. You know, the Nets are so blatantly tanking, and they obviously, it was just one of those games that you knew the Sixers were going to have. You knew that they were going to have that game, and it was just good to see them have it, because last year was so tough that you didn't know if the Sixers had that in their bag last year. But to know that that's in their bag this year, that they can just go out and dominate a team that is inferior to them, good feeling. And I saw Aaron tweeted a great stat about the Sixers and their win percentage so far this season. I want to pull this up because this is such a good, litmus test bar here for our 76ers. Yeah, hear this, guys. It took the Sixers until December 4th, their 19th game, to hit 5 wins last season. The Sixers are 5-1 to start this season. And with 5 wins, the Sixers are 20.8% of the way to their 2024-2025 win total, which was 24, having played just 7.3% of this season so far. That feels good. That feels good. Okay? That makes me feel things. That makes me feel good about the trajectory of this team this season. And again, the expectations are nothing. This is a free play like Aaron and I talked about a couple weeks ago. This is just a gravy type of season. See what happens. Go win the NBA Cup, but go see what happens. Okay? It's not like I'm banking on this team being an NBA Finals contender this year. That's not what I have envisioned for the Philadelphia 76ers here in the 2025-2026 season. But what I do have envisioned is just progress and growth and seeing what they were able to do on Sunday night against the Nets, seeing how they have just been a never say die type of team. They don't quit. They don't stop going until the very last buzzer sounds. As proven in the NBA Cup game. You know, even though it was a loss, they did not quit in that game. They were down by 24 at one point and only lost by 1. You got a huge test upcoming starting on Tuesday in Chicago against the Bulls, which is the front end of a back-to-back, where then you will then go to Cleveland to play the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then come back home and play on Saturday against the Raptors and play on Sunday against the Pistons. Big, big, big stretch here. And then Tuesday at home against the Celtics again for a third time in 11 games. It's a huge stretch here for this team. And it's going to show us a lot, I think, about that resilience factor. It's going to show us a lot about the role players on this team, like the Kelly Oubres, like the Jabari Walkers, like the Quentin Grimes. It's going to show us a lot about VJ Edgecombe, too. And I'm not saying this in a negative way. It's just going to show that grit and what we have seen from them through the first 6 games of the year. I'm excited for this. And to say I'm excited about Sixers basketball again is a miracle in and of itself. But I have sat and I have watched every single Sixers game so far to start this season because they are just that electrifying. VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey and Quentin Grimes, quite frankly, those 3 together have been just an electrifying combination. And I just love watching them play. I love watching those guys play. They are so fun. And that is why, as Tyrese Maxey named Eastern Conference Player of the Week, the 76ers are getting the tip of the cap, ladies and gentlemen. The tip of the cap going to the 76ers in the big 2025. And as you all know, our tip of the cap is brought to you by our friends at 47. Guys, let me tell y'all something. The power of this podcast. Now, I'm not saying we did it, but I'm also not saying we did it. Because I logged on to 47's website today, as I always do, to check out all the new goodies that they have available. I stumbled upon something that I hadn't seen before. And you know what that was, ladies and gentlemen? That was a tab for the Philadelphia Union. Yes, Philadelphia Union official merchandise, headwear, and apparel from 47 is on their website right now. Tweeted out the link. It's on our Instagram story right now as you're listening to this. Go check out the Philadelphia. I ordered the hat, the hitch style hat, so quick. You guys know I've had this bad boy for a couple weeks now. That bad boy's available on their website. Go get your Philadelphia Union gear. They've got a brand new capsule for all the teams that brought back their throwback uniforms in the NBA. They've got a red 76ers hat that is calling my name, let me tell you. Go use our link in the description, shop with 47, and get free shipping on all orders when you shop with our friends at 47 and join the 47 family. Join the 47 family to get free shipping on all orders. You earn points on every purchase you make, which goes towards you getting discounts on everything you buy. And you get free shipping when you use our link in the description. Use the link, join the 47 family, get free shipping on all orders from our friends at 47. And we thank 47 for being a proud partner and potentially listener of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Sixers are buzzing. The Union are buzzing, ladies and gentlemen. The Union are buzzing. And they are on to the Eastern Conference Semifinals. And that's exactly what I tried to tell you when we got the matchup. That is exactly what I tried to tell you when we got the matchup of Chicago. I said it was the perfect matchup. And I don't know how to put it any better. I just know ball. I said I would rather play Chicago because I think it's the better matchup for the Union. And here we are. Union advanced 3-0 belt to ass in Chicago to win in 2 games. And the Union are on to the Eastern Conference Semifinal, awaiting the winner of Charlotte and New York City. I got to see if they have played yet. I don't think they have. No, they play on Friday because a Game 3 was forced in penalties by Charlotte. Hachi machi. We love to see it. So the Union will get extra rest here, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And they will not play until November 21st, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Or 22nd. It'll be that full weekend. But that is glorious. That is absolutely glorious that is now going to a Game 3. Oh, the MLS, the MLS. But yeah, the Union will play the winner of Charlotte and New York City, who are now going to a 3rd game in 2 weeks' time. That's crazy. And the Union will get some rest now, get some guys healthy, and I tried to tell you guys, Chicago was the matchup to pray for. That was the matchup I was looking at. And I was like, they have Chicago's number historically. This season in particular, but in years past, I feel like they always play Chicago well. It was a good matchup to pull. They got it. They obviously advanced on penalty kicks from Game 1. And then Game 2, 3-0 regulation, belt to ass win over the Chicago Fire. Absolute scenes of a game. Chicago fans, be better. Be better. But man, feels good. Feels good that the Union are just duping along, baby. I'm excited. Now it's one and dones the rest of the way. Winner take all each and every round. I think the Union are built for this. I think they are a team that is just pushing forward and are ready to shock the world a bit. I know they're the 1 seed. I know that sounds silly. They won the Supporters' Shield and all that, but I think this is a roster that payroll is low. It's a Tampa Bay Rays model type of team, if you will, and I just think it's going to be fascinating to watch them go on this run that I think we're about to witness them go on, and hopefully that leads to them hosting and winning the MLS Cup at Subaru Park. That would be an absolute treat, and I would have to find a way to be in the building for that. Simply no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But the Union advance. They're going to the semifinal. Friday night will be Charlotte, New York City. Who knows? Maybe we'll live stream and watch along with that game and see what's to come for the Philadelphia Union as that game is in Charlotte. 7 o'clock on Friday. Let me know. Let me know if you want us to live stream that. Little live watch party to determine who the Philadelphia Union's next opponent will be. whether it's Charlotte or New York City. Let me know who you guys want to see the Union play. I know both of these teams are very talented, very good. The Union played both of them very close this year. I'm not really counting that final game of the season as anything against Charlotte. I think that was just kind of the Union trying to get out of there not injured. But we'll see. We'll see what happens there, no less. But the Union are duping on, and our Union postseason coverage brought to you by our friends over at Biñho. Guys, Biñho's the next big tabletop game for your tailgates, your man cave, your she shed, your parties, whatever it may be. You break out a Biñho board, you're going to be the talk of the event. It's paper football meets foosball in the next big tabletop flicking experience. Get your officially licensed Philadelphia Union Biñho boards. Plus, you can get every MLS team officially licensed. They've got officially licensed Premier League boards, Serie A, PSG, you name it, they've got it. You can customize your own board too, and you have until November 5th to customize your board to get it by Christmas. I know it's a little short notice, but you have until November 5th to get your full-blown Biñho ID customized board. Has to be in by November 5th to have it by Christmas. Okay? Shop with our friends at Biñho. Use the link in the description to do so. And when you fill up your cart to the gills, use code Biñho Bennett 62 at checkout. That's code Biñho Bennett 62 at checkout when you use our link in the description to shop with Biñho, and you get 10% off your next order. Code Biñho Bennett 62 when you use our link to shop with Biñho to get 10% off your next order from our friends at Biñho. And we thank Biñho for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Last bit here, unfortunately, the Flyers lost to the Calgary Flames 2-1 on Sunday down at the Cable Box. Cooper DeJean was in the building. Just a little too late from the Fly guys. Tyson Forster being out for an extended amount of time is obviously a little brutal. Coots being back was great. Just wasn't their night. And when you look at where this team is right now, quite frankly, there's going to be a lot of these nights for the Flyers, but they're still sitting, with 13 points. They're 6-5-1. It looks bad because they're in the basement of the Metropolitan Division right now, but they've played less games than a lot of the teams. They played less games than the Rangers. They played less games than the Penguins. They played less games than the Devils. They still have 13 points, and they're 1 point behind literally the Rangers, the Blue Jackets, the Hurricanes. The Penguins and the Devils are the two teams that are kind of, a little far and away better than everyone else right now in the Met. But I'm not worried right now. It's not time to press the panic button with the Flyers. November is still going to be very fun. I've watched way more Flyers hockey this year than I have in years past. Even last year when that was year one of the rebuild and just kind of taking it all in for the very first time. Bounce back on Tuesday up in Montreal. Try to get a road win. Then you go down to Nashville on Thursday before you come back home for a 2-game homestand Saturday, Wednesday, and then 2-game road trip. Come back home for 2 games. You bounce around a little bit in November. It's going to be a slog of a schedule for sure, but there's a lot of winnable games in the month of November, and I think the Flyers have the talent to win those games. And it's not like they're losing badly, really, in any of these games. The Maple Leafs game and the Jets game were the two obvious, bad losses, 5-2 in terms of goal differential, and that Senators loss was pretty bad, just in terms of overall gameplay. But those are really the only games, and the Flyers have leveled out the 5-2 loss to the Jets and Maple Leafs with 5-2 wins of their own against the Panthers and Kraken. So that's kind of like moot points on the goal differential situations there. But I still think they're a very talented team. I still think they're going to win a bunch of games. They're still going to put up, some pretty awesome numbers with the young talent on this team. And it's going to be a fun season. November is going to be a big wait-and-see type of month for this team. And we'll see what things look like once they start to take shape and we get to December, and that's when we can kind of see where this team will be and all that good stuff. But November's still kind of just like chill, enjoy it, enjoy the fun. They're a fun, vibey team, okay? Enjoy this team. Enjoy what is going to be the future of this team for many, many years to come while it's still in its infancy. So shout out to the Flyers. Let's bounce back. All right? Let's get some dubs on the road, too. That's one thing I want to see this team do is win some games on the road. That is all I've got for you guys. Make sure you're following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on every social platform. Please, please, please follow us on the socials at Underground PHI. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. Goes a long way for helping the show continue to grow. Helps more people find Underground Sports Philadelphia and our entire network of podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please, for the love of everything that is Philly, subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. Leave a like on the video. Drop a comment in the comment section. Click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. Get us to our next 100 subscriber milestone. Be a friend, tell a friend. Subscribe to the motherfucking channel, okay? Good vibes only. And as you guys all know, this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. And like I've been mentioning, the Garden State Comic Fest is coming to the new Vineland Convention Center Saturday, November 15th. Sorry, the 15th is first. From 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday, November 16th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Meet Melissa Joan Hart plus fan favorite stars like Dan Parent, the legendary Archie's comic artist and writer, Kevin Clash, the voice of Elmo, Splinter, and Baby Sinclair, and Keith Williams, the iconic comic book inker from Marvel, and more. Comics, cosplay, collectibles, and over 6,000 fans. Visit gscfvineland.com for all the details. Again, the Garden State Comic Fest is coming to the new Vineland Convention Center Saturday, November 15th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday, November 16th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. For all the details, visit gscfvineland.com. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. Also, event alert, I will be at Philadelphia Wings Media Day on Thursday. Going to be a doozy of a time. Going to be hanging out with some of the guys from the team doing a lot of stuff. Stay tuned for a lot of good stuff coming to the show because we'll be simulcasting those interviews both on OTB and this show to get you guys geared up for another Philadelphia Wings season. Doing a lot of stuff with the Wings this year that you don't want to miss. This has been episode number 791 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. I'll catch you all on Thursday prior to Media Day. Hopefully with Harrison back from his Indiana trip. We'll have Indiana stories potentially on the next episode. Plus Aaron Grugan more than likely back on the show. Hopefully Seamus Clancy as well. But until then, welcome to Philadelphia. Jaelan Phillips, Howie Roseman, you're a motherfucking dog. Let's go Union. Let's go Sixers. Let's go Flyers. Let's go Birds. And I'll be catching you guys on Thursday's episode. But until then, fun fact. We've got some award winners to talk about on the next episode. Or award nominees, I should say. Shout out Kyle Schwarber, Christopher Sanchez, Rob Thompson. We'll talk about that on Thursday for sure. But until then, I'm getting the heck up out of here and I'm signing off. Peace.